How has Secure Act 2.0 changed college planning? I'm Derek Mazzarello with Gateway Financial Partners, and I'm a certified financial planner. Today, we're going to talk about the Secure Act's new rule, how it pertains to 529 plans, and maybe a couple ideas we can use to help you leverage it. So, what are they really doing in a nutshell? So, basically, with a 529 plan, if you have excess money in the 529 plan after your kids goes to college, Secure Act's going to let you basically roll that money over into a Roth IRA. Is that a good idea or not? Let's explore. So let's take a step back on kind of why they did this. And let's look at how 529 plans work. So we got your 529 plan over here. And the biggest benefit of 529 plans is the tax treatment of a 529 plan. So you're putting money in after tax here. You may get a state tax deduction depending on which state you live in. The money grows tax free. And then when you take it out, it's tax free as long as you use it for qualified college expenses. So tuition, room and board, things like books, computers, supplies. It can also be used for secondary education. So if you go to private school, 529 plans now allow for items like that. But what's a downside to the 529 plans? Well, basically, it's the tax treatment, right? So if you don't go to college, let's say you have a kid that wants to go to a trade, or you have a really smart kid that's got a full ride, or you have an athlete in your family and they get a great scholarship, or they just flat out don't want to go to college. So let's say you put over the years $50,000 into the 529 plan. Now it's worth $70,000 with growth in there. Basically, what that means is you've already paid tax on this number. So that $20,000 of growth, you're going to pay taxes on that plus a 10% penalty. Okay. Now, traditionally, if you said, okay, well, if I don't want to take the money out, what else can I do with it? If you have other kids, you can transfer it to another beneficiary and it would just basically roll over without any tax implications and they can use it for school. But if that's not the case, you're paying taxes and a penalty. So as a result, most people tend to hold back how much they're going to contribute to 529 plans because there's always this great unknown with their kids. Because especially if you're starting this when their kids are 3 or 4 years old, they're picking their nose, you don't know if they're necessarily going to go to Harvard or not. Right. So what are they allowing us to do? So as I mentioned briefly, so let's say we have money in a 529 plan. Let's say your kid does go to college or there is just excess money left in here. Secure Act 2.0 says, okay, we can now roll those into a Roth IRA. And a Roth IRA has almost essentially the same tax treatment as a 529 plan because using after tax dollars, it grows tax free. And then you take it out in retirement after age 59 and a half, you get tax free income. So great. Let's just stuff a bunch of money in there and we'll roll it over anyway because we can overstuff a 529 plans, right? Hold on. So there's definitely some rules with the 529 to Roth IRA transfer. Basically, the maximum rollover per person is $35,000. So you can't put in $100,000 in that 529 plan and then roll all $100,000 over. The Roth IRA owner and the 529 beneficiary must be the same person. So you can't put money in one child's 529 plan and then roll it into your own IRA. It has to be into that child's Roth IRA. The 529 has to be a minimum of 15 years old. So this isn't something you could set up 2 years ago and then roll money over. So it has to be set up for a while. The other part of it is any contributions within the last 5 years plus any growth doesn't count. That's not eligible to be moved over to the Roth. The amount that can be rolled over is that year's IRA contribution limit. So in 2023, that's $6,500. So you can't roll over 10,000 in a year. You roll to just whatever that maximum is for that calendar year. And you also can't double up on it. So you can make a Roth IRA contribution and you can do roll over some money, but that amount total has to equal 6,500. So you can't roll basically $13,000 into an IRA in 1 year. Okay. With that said, is there a strategy here? On the surface, it sounds great. Like initially, when you first get this news, you say, let's just stuff this 529 plan. It's a good way to pass money on to the kids, start them off right for retirement because you can grow money. But with a lot of those rules, it really skirts a lot of the planning around this. I think if you're doing a 529, Yeah, whereas traditionally I'd be a little bit more conservative with it. I just say, let's do a three-legged stool for retirement or for college planning. One is 529, some is investment account, some is the UMA account. That may actually push more chips into the 529 because now that we can roll things over to the Roth, it gives us a little bit more leeway. And knowing that we can roll up to $35,000, even if it takes us a few years, this is still growing tax-free in your 529 plan. So no matter what, if we don't close the 529 plan when they're 21, we have to wait till they're 30. Not a big deal. So my recommendation would be probably let's skew a little bit more towards the 529 plan because we know either it's a gift for college or it's a gift for your child's retirement. So if you're going to be more inclined to give to your child for either one of those items, it lets us do essentially two things with one strategy as well. So definitely make sure you understand the rules, make sure you're setting up everything correctly. But this could be a good way to kind of get rid of some of the negative impacts of the 529 plan, where if your child didn't go to college, at least you have an out for that with the Roth IRA conversions. So that in a nutshell is how the Secure Act 2.0 529 to Roth conversion works. Derek Mazarel with Gateway Financial Partners. I also have a great video on college planning, so check that out and how to really go ahead and use those three-legged stool to save for college expenses.